Join me as I dive into the wild experiment of what would actually happen if Earth breaks into small balls. Let's see if we can wrap our heads around this crazy scenario. Imagine waking up one morning to find that our beloved planet has shattered into tiny pieces, each one hovering in midair like a marble. It's a mind-boggling thought, and one that raises a plethora of questions about the very fabric of our existence. What would happen to our ecosystems, our climate, and most importantly, human life as we know it? From a scientific standpoint, the idea of Earth breaking apart is a catastrophic event that would require an unfathomable amount of energy. We're talking about a force that would need to be capable of overcoming the planet's gravitational binding energy, which is roughly 2.2 by 10 to the power of 32 joules. That's an enormous amount of power, and one that would likely be impossible to generate naturally. One of the primary challenges we'd face in this scenario is the issue of angular momentum. As the Earth breaks apart, the chunks of rock would begin to rotate and orbit each other in chaotic patterns. This would lead to some truly bizarre and unpredictable consequences, including the formation of temporary atmospheres around each fragment, and the creation of intense gravitational waves that would ripple throughout the cosmos. Another significant hurdle would be the extreme variations in temperature and pressure that would arise as a result of the fragmentation. The surface of each piece would be exposed to the harsh conditions of space, leading to rapid cooling and the loss of atmosphere. Meanwhile, the intense heat generated by the breakup would cause widespread melting and vaporization of the planet's crust. As the fragments continued to drift apart, the effects on our climate would be nothing short of apocalyptic. The loss of a stable atmosphere would render the surface inhospitable, and the constant bombardment of solar and cosmic radiation would make it impossible for life to thrive. The very concept of weather as we know it would cease to exist, replaced by a chaotic dance of gravitational forces and thermal fluctuations. Gravity itself would also undergo a radical transformation, as the mass of the Earth would be distributed across countless small bodies. This would lead to a multitude of miniature gravitational fields, each one tugging and pulling on the others in complex patterns. The fabric of spacetime would be severely distorted, and the notion of a stable, uniform gravitational force would become a distant memory. The fragmentation of Earth would also have a profound impact on our ecosystems. The sudden loss of a stable environment would trigger an extinction event of unprecedented proportions, as species struggled to adapt to the radically altered conditions. Even if some organisms managed to survive the initial catastrophe, they would be faced with the daunting task of rebuilding entire food chains and ecosystems from scratch. In the most dramatic scenario, we could even see the formation of a new celestial system, with the fragments of Earth coalescing into a series of miniature planets. It's a mind-boggling thought, and one that raises the possibility of new life forms emerging in the vacuum left behind by our planetary demise. As we wrap our heads around this wild and unsettling thought experiment, it's essential to remember the importance of Earth's stability for life as we know it. The delicate balance of our planet's systems is a precious commodity, and one that we must cherish and protect above all else. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this hypothetical scenario in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more mind-bending topics and thought-provoking ideas.